and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be all about my everyday makeup routine, but also my everyday hair routine. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that I've been in love with setting or pulling my hair up in a really tight ponytail, like all slicked back. So firstly, let's start out with the hair because that is the most easiest part, because then it's away from the face as well. And let me just say, I am not sponsored by Jewellery, but let me just say that I am freaking in love with their products. The first one here is the Jewellery Ultimate Remedy Extreme Restoration Duo Serum for like damaged hair. And then afterwards, I'm gonna be using the Touch of Gloss Brilliant Melt-in Wax. It's kind of like a waxy gelish texture, which is great for small flyaways or stray hairs, you get what I mean. And then lastly, obviously some hairspray. This is the Sheer Lacquer Microfine Finishing Spray. And then also a hairbrush and a hair comb, like these fine ones. Woo. So first I'm just brushing through my hair so there's no knots or anything like that. Then I'm gonna be using the serum, and I'm just using around 1 pump. It's kind of like a mixture of oil and then some kind of like a serum-y kind of thing. Really good for the ends, so I'm using that only in the ends of my hair. The hair just looks healthier in that way. Then afterwards, I'm actually going to be brushing my hair backwards now. And a great idea is actually to have your hair tie ready already now. And once I've done that, I'm going to be using the Touch of Gloss. And I'm actually using like this amount of product. Don't know if you can see. You can always use more or less. Just using that to really just brush my hair back, or just to slick my hair back, if you get what I mean. Then I'm gonna be using the comb and then just combing through. So already now I can see how it really gets to be a bit more slick. And then actually before putting my hair in the ponytail, I'm gonna be using the lacquer or the hairspray. And I do use fairly much hairspray for this. And then I start to collect my hair into the ponytail and kind of like figure out how high I want it to be. Then I'm using the comb to brush through the hair so there's no bumps or anything like that. Which is kind of like the tricky part of this hairstyle, to get no bumps or anything like that. And honestly, it is really great if your hair is a tiny bit greasy, like a day-old hair. Once again, hairspray. And then also the back right down here is also really important, so I'm gonna be using some hairspray there. And then with the comb, just brushing upwards. And once you think you're around almost 100% happy with it, that is when you use the hair tie and do the ponytail. And do it really tight, as tight as you can. And there you go, guys. So here is my slick back everyday ponytail. I just feel like that you look so on point with this hairstyle, because it's very slick back. It looks really professional and you look really cool with it. And I love that it gives that shine on your forehead or on your hair as well. I don't know if you can see that, but I just love that finish. I think it looks so cool. This is a perfect hairstyle for doing your makeup. I've zoomed you in now because it's time to do the makeup. I personally love a really glowy finish, and I like my full coverage, but I still want to look somewhat natural. I don't want to look like somebody else. I still want to look like me. And once again, I'm like the highlight princess. I love me some highlights, so we're gonna go cray with some highlight. Firstly, as usual, I'm gonna be using the Vitamin Rich Face Base from Bobbi Brown as kind of like a face moisturizer and a primer in one. I think I say that in almost every video that I mention this product, but it is just so freaking good, guys. Get it while I can. And just the smell of this. And then because I want that ultimate glow, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer. This is the Radiance version, so it gives a bit more of a glowy finish to the skin. And obviously, because it is a primer, it once again makes sure that the makeup will last for longer as well. So we're doubling up on the primer.
Me take a trip to the stars, I can show you.
For foundation, I'm gonna be using the Giorgio Luminous Silk Foundation. I recently got it in the right shade for me, so now I'm just like, I've been using it like a freak. Shake, 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 Snora. So I'm just using around 2 pumps on my face. Some would call that a lot. I would say it's the perfect amount. I'm gonna be using some concealers, and yes, I'm using 2 different ones because I'm cray like that. I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Foundation Concealer. And then I'm gonna be mixing it with the Born This Way Radiant Concealer. Oh my god, it's on my brain right now. Jump in the line, move your body in time. Okay, I believe you.
Now, all up in your face.
Honestly, what I would do without the beauty blender, I do not freaking know.
Gatorade, I sip it till I fade away. Mix it with the vodka, then I'm A-okay.
So now we're moving on to the eye area. I'm gonna be using the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the color Soft Ochre for my eyelids as a primer. And to get it on, I always use these kind of like buffer brushes, rounded buffer brushes. They're really good for that. And I'm just applying it on my entire eyelid.
You just leave it up to me. I can show you my world. We can go through it all.
And once that is done, I'm just gonna be using the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder under my eyes to set down the concealers, because if I don't do that, I will crease like hell. Always just going back and forth with the beauty blender before doing that in order not to have any creasing already now. And then the powder. And I will also use it around my nose. And as you may or may not be able to see, I always try to stay away from the outer part of my face right here because that's where I want some highlight. I'm gonna be using the Sleek Makeup palette. This is the highlighting palette in color Soul Stitch, which is probably one of my favorites. It is so stunning and so freaking inexpensive as well. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be taking the creamy thing up here, just as kind of like a base. I'm just using my finger for that, kind of like dotting it on where I want the ultimate highlight from the powders. Then I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush, grabbing that color and that color, those two. Bam, man. Some would say that is not natural, it looks way too unnatural, but I personally like that. I want people to go like, when they see me go like. Hello there. Then I'm taking my ring finger, using it right out there on my nose, and then also just down on the bridge of my nose, really gently, and also just on the Cupid's bow. And sometimes I also like to use it just in the middle of my lips. And now for the brows, I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I've just fallen in love with this product all over again. And I like my full-on brows, so now, girls and guys out there, get ready for the brow face. Game is on.
To your place like a front gate. Gatorade, I sip it till I fade away. Mix it with the vodka, then I'm A-okay. Looking for that green, I wanna radiate. Then sail away like it's 1988.
And once the brows are on, as you can see, I'm gonna be setting them down with the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. This is in the shade light to medium.
You just leave it up to me, take a trip to the stars, I can show you it all.
Now for the eyeshadows. When I say eyeshadows, it's because I'm not really gonna be using any eyeshadows. I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Contour Kit. This is the medium to tan version. And actually what I've been loving is actually using that color out there. I think it's so beautiful on the eyelids because it's not too visible, but still gives a little extra for the everyday look. And I personally just use my finger to apply that. And because we use the MAC eye base, it really just sticks down. Then I'm just grabbing like a fluffy blender brush. This is from Zoeva. It's called Lux Soft Definer. Just taking that one and that one there, mixing those two, and then using it in kind of like my crease area. So there's no harsh edges from the other color. I personally always define my crease. I think it just makes such a difference to the eyes, especially when you wear mascara as well. Now let's just remove the baking under the eyes. I think it's done now. I'm always wearing like the baking or letting it bake for around 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes approximately. And what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to take a pencil brush, going to take that color in the middle, mix it with that one, and then use it underneath a tiny bit. And also a tiny bit maybe up here. Just take a smaller blending brush. This one is called Lux Definer Crease Brush. Once again, use that. And this is a smaller blending brush, which is personally one of my favorites. When we're talking everyday mascara, I just always go for the ones that work the best with me and my lashes. And it is the Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline.
You just leave it up to me, I can show you my world, we can go through it all. You just leave this up to me.
And for the bottom lashes, you know the only one that I always use is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara.
And a bunch of books in my lap now, all up in your face like a front page, going through your place like a front gate.
Just zoomed you out a tiny bit, I hope that's okay. We're gonna be going back to the Anastasia Contour Kit, and I'm gonna be using a mixture of these colors right here.
Then sail away like it's 1988. You just leave this up to me, I can show.
Also using some down here, and then just around my temples, just to warm up my face a tiny bit. And if you do have a minute to spare, I would highly suggest to contour your nose as well, using that color right there because it's a bit cooler. And I'm not doing it too harshly, just a tiny bit. It just gives a bit more angle to your face. Once again, I feel like that angles on the face is just your best friend. And then I'm just blending it in with a fluffy brush. And actually, I do like me a tiny bit of blush. At the moment, I am in love with the Balm Hot Mama blush. It is so stunning. Not too much though, but it gives a healthy color to the cheeks, and I really like that. A tiny bit more highlight, never hurt nobody. Oh. Yum on. I'm just gonna be using the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme because I love that it plumps up my lips, but it doesn't give any extra color to my lips, so it still looks very natural.
You just leave this up to me, take a trip.
And I love the taste of this one. I feel like licking it every time. Everyday makeup routine and hair routine as well. I personally love everyday makeups because that is the makeup that you wear on an everyday basis. That is exactly what you need. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and also the little hair tutorial as well. So thank you so much for watching. Remember, I love you all to the moon and back and everywhere else.